Today I'm going to be breaking down how you can use a Royal Champion in combination with Super Bowlers here at Townhall 18 to 3-star any base. So here is the army composition we are going to be using today, and yes, before you jump in the comments, I know there is a lot of epic equipment, but if you don't have some of these pieces of epic equipment, it's not the end of the world. The most important ones are going to be those for the Royal Champion. Also, the heroic torch on the Grand Warden is very important. For the rest, it's pretty much up to you. But let's jump in and we'll break this down. So the first thing we're going to be doing with this strategy is identifying a few key things. The first of which being, what value can I get from the Royal Champion, while also trying to create some sort of a funnel. Now we're looking for key buildings here. Of course, those are things like the monolith, things like single target infernos, scatter shots, any really heavy hitting defenses that are going to do a lot of damage to your super bowlers. Once you've decided which part of the base you're going to come in from, you're then going to go ahead and get your Royal Champion going in. Now we do not want to be using her ability at this point in the attack. We want to try and hold off for it for the back end, because we're going to be recalling her and using her, like I said, on the back end of the base. So maintaining those invisibility spells every 4 seconds is hugely important here to maximize the value that we are getting. And as you can see right here, as that last invisibility, should I say, wears off, we're very, very quick with the recall spell there, and we've got a nice little chunk of value. Next up, we're going to be coming in with those super bowlers. In this particular style of base, very, very awkward town hall compartment isolated here at the top section. We're going to try and take it down nice and quickly. We do not want to leave the Guardian at the town hall left alone too long. So we're going to get those super bowlers in with the healers. We also have the troop launcher coming in from behind. That's just going to give us a few additional troops, as well, of course, as our clan castle troops in there as well. Heroes are going to be coming through from that left hand side. You'll see we've got the king and the queen in combination with a couple of druids in there. They are going to be creating the funnel over on that side. But the majority of the damage here is going to be coming through from those super bowlers, so it's important to try and keep an eye on them. If you notice, they're getting hit with a lot of splash damage, i.e. scatter shots, multi-target infernos, fire spitters, anything like that. That's when it's time to rage them up. Try to catch the healers with the rage spell as well, and you'll see we also have the druids coming through as well. Now I'm not sure if those specific ones were from our clan castle or if we deployed them down ourselves, but you do want to kind of strategically sprinkle them through the attack. We had some of the heroes at the start. We're then going to progressively bring them through on our troops on the back end as well. But you'll see we just missed it there. The Royal Champion does make an appearance here on the back end. We use that spear throw ability. She's going to come through in the back end. The rocket spear is getting some really nice value, and we finish up with a 3-star right there. Very, very nice indeed, and we can move through into the next attack. Okay, and a very difficult base for this next one. Again, we're seeing a lot of these kind of really heavy town hall compartments surrounded with walls. It's always going to be difficult, so we have to try and identify which part of the base we're going to come in with our Royal Champion. This time coming in from that bottom section, hoping to pick off maybe the ricochet cannon here. That of course can do some serious damage. The hero bell as well. Getting rid of the boost on the defending heroes is always going to be super, super nice. So we see the Royal Champion coming in right here. We have the Spirit Fox, of course, her pet of choice alongside her. Gives her that little bit of additional invisibility, which for this initial charge is exactly what we are looking for. So she's getting some really good value at the moment. We've got one more invisibility spell, which we're going to be bringing through in a wee second. No, it looks like we've got the value we want, so we're going to hold on to that invisibility spell for later on in the attack. It looks like Yappy Boy is going to continue to surprise me. He actually does something which I haven't seen in a little while. We're going to be using invisible skeletons to activate the centralized invisibility spell tower. That is because we want to make sure our troops are able to get in there towards that town hall compartment and take it down without the invisibility spell tower making everything invisible, which of course is its job. So you'll see here come our troops looking to try and push them right in towards that town hall compartment, creating the funnel on the opposite side with the king and with the queen. They're going to be coming in right there, and here we go. Our troops now starting to make some progress through into the core of the base. Of course, like I said, we had that early activation of the invisibility spell tower, which we're seeing in a lot of these style of bases. That's the good thing about this strategy, because if you can swag an invisibility spell and you have that skeleton spell, you can use it to get the invisibility spell tower activated nice and early. Royal Champion going to be making a reappearance up there at the top section of the base, and with this attack, as soon as you redeploy her, you're probably going to go ahead and want to pop that ability. But the Super Bowlers completely wiped out the entire core section of the base. We still have our Queen somehow staying alive over on that left hand side, but it's going to be the Royal Champion swinging through the back end, really tidying things up for us here and bringing through that 3-star. So before we jump into that last attack, I'll just remind you guys the link for this strategy is down in the description as always, and if you want to go ahead and join our Discord server, you can feel free to do that as well. But let's jump in and we'll take a look. So progressing through into our third and final example, again we are seeing a different style of base. This is kind of more what we used to see in Legends League, with the walls not completely surrounding the town hall in an isolated compartment, but we do still have that town hall right at the very top of the base. We have the invisibility spell tower yet again. We have heroes in there making life very, very difficult, but we're just going to approach it the exact same way. We have the Royal Champion coming through. We have, of course, the Electro Boots on her, which are going to really help us get through some of these early damage sections of the base, clearing out some of these compartments just to make sure we maximize the value here. Using that last invisibility spell just to push her towards that Expo, and it looks like we can probably go ahead and get that recall spell down on her in just a second. There it is right there. We pick her up, and we have been able to activate the invisibility tower at the top as well. I'm not quite sure what we used there to activate it, but getting it nice and early is very important. Using an Ice Golem out in front, we also have the skeleton spell in there trying to tank for the enemy heroes. Super Bowlers, couple of Coco Loons, those are to test for any seeking air mines. We do not want them to take down our healers. And there we go. Town Hall already secured 1st star on the board. King-Queen combination again going to be coming slightly separated here from our Super Bowlers. But if we pause things up, you can see exactly what we've done here. We've got nice value from our Royal Champion at the start on that right hand side, creating the funnel. King Queen doing the exact same on the opposite side, and then the Super Bowlers push through the rest of the base. Now you can switch up the siege machine here from the troop launcher. You can also use a log launcher here. That does work with this strategy. However, I feel like having the troop launcher, getting those additional troops in there, as well as the wall breakers which actually come out of it, is always going to be nice and beneficial. It can open up those wall compartments for you as you progress through the base, slowly trickling in more additional troops. And just as I say that, we see a couple of wall breakers over on that right hand side opening that wall compartment for us very nicely. And don't forget, of course, about our Grand Warden's ability. The Heroic Torch is going to allow those Super Bowlers to walk straight through any of those wall compartments that they may be trapped inside. Typically, you're going to want to use this as they progress through into the core of the base, or in those isolated town hall compartments when they're struggling to get through, or they're going to start to walk around. That's when you're going to want to pop that ability. Of course, we have the Eternal Tome as well. That's always going to be very beneficial because it makes those troops invincible for that short period of time. But there it is, 3 examples of how you can use Super Bowlers here in Legends League at Townhall 18 to 3-star any base. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like. Let me know in the comments how you get on with this strategy, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.